This is manual focusing perfection, and it is so fun to use this 50mm f1.2 lens on Fujifilm X-T5. So I want to share with you my review about this budget-friendly lens that is bringing excellent image quality and excellent manual focusing experience on your Fujifilm camera. Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and I like to talk about photography tips and tricks and photography gear. And in today's video I want to present to you my real world experience in using this 50mm f1.2 lens from TTArtisan in Fujifilm X mount. So I've received this lens from TTArtisan and I've decided to take this lens and shoot it on the streets. At first I was a little scared because it's a 50mm lens on an APS-C crop sensor. So this means that this lens is giving me on my Fujifilm X-T5 a 75mm field of view. So it's a short tele lens, a manual focusing short tele lens. And I was thinking how on earth I will be able to focus this lens in street photography, and I don't know, I was feeling scared in trying to use this lens for street photography. I was thinking that okay, I will be able to use it for portraits, for static objects, for fine art, street photography and so on, but in street photography I was afraid that I would not be able to focus the lens. But I had a big surprise and we'll get to that part after we will talk about the build quality of this lens. So regarding the build quality of this lens, I've made a video when I've opened the lens and I was amazed how this lens is staying in the hand. It has a very good heft to it. It is fully metal and glass. Also, the aperture ring has very nice clicks and you don't bump the ring, and I really like these protruding parts that are helping me to change the apertures. So I'm really loving the aperture ring. It is nice, no complaints here. Next, what I like regarding the build quality is that you are able to see on the silver version, but probably also on the black one, very well the markings, and the focusing ring has a very good grip to it. So you can maneuver the focusing ring very easy and it will not slip between your fingers. So regarding aperture ring, manual focusing ring and zone focusing, I really have no complaints. The focusing ring, it is very smooth. So again, nice touch. Also, I like very much the focusing throw. You are able to get from infinity very fast between 2 and 3 meters and also 1.5, where all the action is happening in general for this lens. So regarding build quality and ergonomics, all is working fine. I would also add that this lens minimum focus distance is 0.5 centimeters. So again, nice touch, and when you are getting to the 0.5 centimeters, the focusing throw, it is a large focusing throw, so you will be able to nail focus. But what does this mean in practice? First, I've used this lens in my house and doing a photo shoot with my wife, and I've obtained great results. I've observed from that photo shooting and from using the lens indoors that I was able to get the focusing right. And I had some wow moments because again, this is a 75mm lens. It's hard to focus, especially with manual focusing. I will give you in a moment my settings, but let's get to the interesting part. So I've decided, okay, I've obtained good results indoors, but let's see how this lens will perform outdoor in street photography. And I went for a photo walk and the results that I've obtained are great. I've decided to use this lens in street photography just at f1.2 aperture. Or I will get the image or I will not get the image. And I was able to get images after images after images. I was totally amazed by how good is this lens in manual focusing mode. I was able to get better images in focus images than with an AF third-party lens like Sigma 56mm f1.4 that I will do a review soon about that Sigma. So subscribe if you are not subscribed and give it a like. So after nailing images after images, I felt very confident, and my settings for manual focusing were very easy. Highlight picking, red highlight picking, high. So the highlight picking of this lens worked amazing good. When I was seeing the eye in focus or the glasses in focus or what I wanted to be in focus, I was hitting the button. If some images aren't in focus, it's because of me, and also because it's an f1.2 aperture lens and because the subject was moving. But the highlight picking with this lens or Fujifilm X-T5 worked amazing good for a telephoto lens. So great results when you will be able to see the highlights on the eyes that are red. Just press the button and you will be sure that the eyes will be in focus. So this is how I did my portraits with my wife, and this is how I've done street photography with this lens. So it is manual focusing perfection. I had this impression just with one lens, and this is TTArtisan again 20mm f1.4 that I made a review, and other users that bought this lens confirmed again how well this lens is performing in manual focusing mode with highlight picking, and this lens also performs outstanding. This is the word, outstanding performance in highlight picking. So the precision of this lens is remarkable for street photography, for portraits and so on. You don't need to punch in to check the focus. You don't need to punch in. And this method to punch in is not very suitable for street photography because you lose the moment. Now let's talk about the image quality of this lens on Fujifilm X-T5. Well, I feel the image quality, it is comparable. Looking at JPEGs, I didn't look at RAW files because again, you don't buy this lens for, I don't know, professional photography, but you can use it for artistic photography. So at f1.2 lens, when I've looked at my portraits, I was very satisfied with the image quality, with the color rendition, with the nice details of the portraits. The portraits are flattering, the image is looking good, the background, it is very blurry. By the way, this lens has 10 aperture blades, 10 aperture blades. This means that your background will be very melted, very melted. So the image quality for the price, for this lens, and how this lens is working, it is amazing good. You can't ask for more. So again, I'm very satisfied. At f1.2 image quality, I've looked at the eyes that were in focus and I felt that the image quality is okay. Of course, you'll not have zeiss sharpness at f1.2, but if you close the aperture, the image will become sharper and will give you a modern look from f2.8 or even f2. It really depends what you want. For portraits, for Fineart Photography, for Poetry Photography, and TTArtisan is saying that this lens on their page, it is for Poetry Photography. This is the lens to go. So for the purpose of what this lens was built, my impression is that the purpose, it is achieved. You get the image quality that you want for an artistic character lens, and character in a good way, in a very good way. My pictures with my wife were published on a national television. This is what I've done, the pictures with this lens. So I didn't want to use a modern Fujifilm lens or my full frame lens. Yes, I've used TTArtisan with Fujifilm X-T5 to publish the pictures of my wife on a national television. So these are my impressions regarding image quality. I'm really liking it a lot. Also, I would use this lens for still life, again for fine art, poetry, still life photography, but also for abstract photography. I wanted to do some abstract photography, but I didn't have time enough. But for abstract street photography, this is the lens to go, and especially paired with Fujifilm X Pro 3, because you'll have the optical viewfinder and you'll be able to use the optical viewfinder to compose better those fine art images. Now let's talk about the fun factor, the mojones factor of this lens, because I really need to address this. This lens, it is fun to use. So you buy this lens to have fun, to have joy in your photography. So a great lens. This is why we are buying vintage lenses, and we adapt vintage lenses via an adapter, and we have a big package to have the fun of using a vintage lens that in general it is more expensive and it will not work with the precision that a modern manual focusing lens dedicated to your X mount will offer you. So my advice is that if you like to buy lenses for fun, for fine art photography, for street photography, for portraiture photography, lenses with character, vintage lenses, then this lens can make a way in your collection, because it is very fun to use this lens. It will really invite you to pick it up and to use it. And also this lens is reminding me of my old Jupiter f1.5 lens. Why it's reminding me? Because of this silver color. I'm really liking again how well TTArtisan was able to bring a nice silver color to this lens. So it's a fun lens to use. It will really invite you to pick it up and use it on your Fujifilm cameras. And again, the results with the Fujifilm color science are extraordinary. So in conclusion, I was afraid in using this lens, but after I've used it, I was amazed that I was able to get better images, more images in focus than using my Sigma AF lens, the 56mm f1.4 lens in low light. So I will do that review of the Sigma lens as soon as possible, but again, this lens performed better than my AF lenses. So for me it was a very new experience. I didn't expect that I was able to manual focus a tele short lens, a 75mm short lens, and get so good results. But yes, this lens for highlight picking, it is perfection. Also, the manual focusing ring, very nice, with perfect throw for this focal lens. So again, a nice lens from TTArtisan, a nice lens that will bring you much joy in your photography. The next lens that I invite you to watch my review, it is TTArtisan 20mm f1.4 lens. The video will appear here or here, I don't know, but check that review, because this is the first lens when I observed, and also users that bought this lens commented that they observed also the highlight picking and the manual focusing with this lens is extraordinary. Please subscribe now to my channel. Check my affiliate links if you want to buy something from Amazon. Check my e-sign and other goodies and links that you'll find in the comments and in the description, and give it a like. This helps me a lot. Thank you, and like this video right now. Bye bye.